A whole lot going on, Ray, of course, in the world of transfers. We're into January now. The Benfica manager, Roger Schmidt, has accused Chelsea of being disrespectful in their pursuit of Enzo Fernandez and pretending to be interested in paying his £105 million release clause. I think the man who will tell us more about that will be Alex Crook. Are Chelsea going to get this player, or are they kidding us all on, according to the Benfica boss, Roger Schmidt? Late on last night, it felt very late last night, Ray, because I was determined get my head down early, so I'd be in here about 5 o'clock this morning. But of course, Chelsea were in action against Manchester City. Now, of course, you with your Arsenal hat on,
yes,
you'd be watching that
I'd
very
Chelsea
keenly.
shirt on last night. But yeah, it was a game of two halves, really, Jim.
Yeah.
If you look at the first half, I thought Chelsea really come out and they had their opportunities to get their noses in front, which would have been a different game, obviously, if he did. I thought the crowd were very good with Chelsea, really got behind the team and supported them. Second half, couple of changes from Man City, and then they really kicked into gear. I thought the first half was pretty poor for City's. We all know how good they are, but they was in like second gear sort of thing, and just getting through the game in the first half. Where second half they went up a couple of gears. Couple of substitutions, couple of later substitutions which changed the game. Obviously, Grealish setting up Mahrez, for the only goal of the game. And then they know how to see games out. Man City, they're very good at that. They had a couple of chances, Chelsea, but they defended well, and an excellent 3 points in the end. I think Pep Guardiola wouldn't have been pleased with the first half performance, but he would have been delighted with the result. Away from home at Chelsea, desperate for a result themselves, and all you can do is keep getting them those 3 points and putting the pressure back onto Arsenal.
Sure, I mean, I'm delighted you mentioned Jack Grealish. Seldom starts a game, but when he is on, invariably he'll do something. And he set up the goal, as you rightly say, Ray, for Mahrez, a sublime cross. And after the game, Pep Guardiola piled the praise on Jack.
He kept the ball. Yeah, was really good. His contribution in Leeds away was fantastic. For assists from Erling today again. So always you make contribution. Can be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they help us. They help us for the people who came for the bench to win the game.
I mean, Ray, 100 million quid. Did you not expect to see Jack start many, many more games than he has?
Well, they've got so much quality, Jim. I mean, that's what you have to pay at times. You always pay a little bit over the odds because you're Man City, and whoever's going to buy the players or Man City players, probably 10 million is put on straight away because they know they've got the money to pay. But no, I don't. I think Jack is a very good pro. He keep going. There was a lot of call for Foden last night, who probably didn't take his chance as much as I'd loved him to. He was a bit quiet in that first half, and then obviously Jack comes on, full of confidence and fantastic. What they do so well, Man City, is the way they switch the play so quickly. You know, from right to left, left to right, and they move the ball really quickly. There was overloaded on the left hand side. De Bruyne just slips him in, but I do. Cucurella was ball watching, left back for Chelsea. That was really poor defending.
And do you mention Kepa? I mean, should he have done more?
He's got to do more
to try
there.
And stop it going across the face of his goal.
He's got to come out and put a hand out. It looked like he just let it roll past him, which I was really surprised with. I didn't. I'm not a goalkeeper, Jim. I'm not here to slag goalkeepers off, but I'm sure he could have done better there.
Yeah, sure. So what about Arsenal now? I mean, honestly, you must pinch yourself.
Got some big games coming up.
When you see where they are, they haven't half. And as you rightly say, it would have been good from an Arsenal viewpoint if Chelsea had taken some for the game. They didn't. So Manchester City cut it now to 5. Where's your head with the mighty Arsenal?
They're massive favourites to win it, City, because the experience.
Do you take Arsenal to win it?
At the moment, I'll still go City. I will go City because they've got to play them twice. They've got to play them twice still, which could be key to whoever wins it. You know, I thought Man City against Arsenal at the Emirates last season was a brilliant game. Arsenal should have probably got something out of the game, maybe won the game. So they've got to play to that standard again if they're going to have any chance of. But the bookmakers don't get it wrong too often, Jim. And if we ask Coral later, I'm sure Man City are big favourites to win.
I'm just looking at it though. When they come back after the FA Cup, Ray, as you know, it's Manchester United, Manchester City. United in good shape.
Who have Arsenal got? Spurs.
You've got
Tottenham, and then Manchester United.
But do Arsenal not go to Tottenham with a real spring in their step?
Well, certainly the game would be a lot different from last season when they went there in May and Rob Holding was sent off and they had injuries. It'd be a totally different game now. And what Arsenal have done so well this season, Jim, is how they start the games. The first 15 minutes are so at it. Mikel Arteta's got them going that first 10, 15 minutes, really put the pressure on the other team. Even in the second half, they start the game so well. But there's a couple of key moments. In April, they've got a little run, about 3 or 4 games where they're really difficult. But all they can do now is Arsenal is keep putting the performances in to high levels, keep picking points up. And if it comes to 8 games to go, that's when I look at it and say, we've got a right chance here.
Sure.
You know, if you're in the hunt with 8 games to go...
They've got a right chance now, Ray.
Of course they have, but they've got some big games coming up as well.
Can you not bring yourself to say it, though?
It can easily go the other way. And I want to keep my feet on the ground. I don't want to get too carried away. I'm very happy how it's going.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know, let's talk about after the Tottenham game and after Manchester
United. What do they need to do, though, that you guys managed to do
quick,
all these years ago?
Fit quick.
I mean, the mindset. What was the mindset?
Well, it's good to have people like Zinchenko in the dressing room now and Jesus, people who've won it. You know, that's going to be a big influence on the other group of guys. It's a young team. It's the youngest in the Premier League, so they've just got to keep going. And I know it's old cliche, but take one game at a time. And then they'll be looking now at this Oxford game on Monday night. There'll be lots of changes, we know, for the FA Cup. But then focus on that Spurs game, which is a massive game for both sides. Massive game for both sides. Both sides.
Were you with Arteta the other night? 2 scandalous penalty decisions in the Newcastle game.
I thought the second one would have been very harsh. If it was up the other end, Newcastle would have, I would have said no chances at a penalty. So I think that was a correct decision. First one, arguments could have been. I mean, it was a tug on the shirt. We know if that's in open play, would that be a foul? Probably would be. So that would have been the one where it could have been 50-50. Yeah. But I thought the second one, it was the right decision.
Okay, Arsenal fans listening this morning, I'm with Arsenal Invincible, not Martin Keown, but with Ray Parlour this morning. How do you fancy your chances? 8, 10, 89, let me know. The gap is cut now because City won at Stamford Bridge last night, just down the road from here, to 5 points. But is it still on? Is it on? If you're an Arsenal fan, are you beginning to believe that when you come back after the FA Cup, United take on City, but you guys go to Tottenham?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.